Hey y'all, and welcome to Spill the Spirituality, your ticket to the next step on your spiritual journey, whatever that looks like, whether that's Jesus or jiu-jitsu, candles or cathedrals, delete as applicable. All are welcome. I'm Trey Hall, Memphis-born, South London living, 16 years sober.
And I'm Jazz Ampawfarr, ADHD adventurer, international speaker, and still figuring it all out. Now, here's where we invite you to get 10% braver and explore what's new, whether you're fired up with enthusiasm like Trey.
Or you're totally a dispassionate coldfish. Like
It's true.
Whether you're kind of on fire for spirituality or just testing it out or trying to figure it out, you don't know, don't care, pull up a chair, you're welcome here.
Be part of it and find us on your favourite socials at Spill the Spirituality.
Today, a banker turned comedian who describes himself as a lapsed Muslim, a former BBC pilgrim who also appears in Sex Education on Netflix. He's even voiced some of the puppets on Spitting Image. That really scares me, actually.
He's also movingly described how the grief of one sudden life-changing event changed his whole course. So please welcome Eshaan Akbar!
I'm here. So excited.
My best
Just like being at the improv, isn't it? It was like the improv right there.
It was really good. Very good projection.
Oh, good.
I enjoyed
Right,
that.
we're finished now. Let's go.
It felt like either like the improv or like a boxing
Live at
match.
the Apollo. Oh, boxing.
Yes. I've
I
never
could do
thought
that.
what my boxer name would be.
Oh, you need something that's
I
tough
need-
but gentle on the inside.
Tough but gentle. Oh, what is tough but gentle? It's very good.
Well, an armadillo.
A beard.
An armadillo.
Because it's tough on the outside and squidgy on the inside.
Is it? I think I'm squidgy on the outside but tough on the inside. What's
It
that?
could be the reverse armadillo. Eshaan Akbar!
We love having comedians on the show.
Well, let me ruin that for you.
I think it'd be really cool to do like a taxonomic thing about like how comedians get to be comedians, like where they start
Yes.
from.
Yeah.
And I have to say, someone who, like banking economics is probably the sort of starting point that I would say would be not that popular.
Yeah.
Are there other bankers who become comedians?
I don't know if there's other bankers, but there's certainly lots of corporate people. So I know that Jimmy Carr used to be like the head of marketing, I think, at Shell.
Oh, right,
And John Bishop worked in pharmaceuticals
he
or something
did,
like
yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there is a pipeline of corporate to comedy. Banking, I can't think of anybody else.
Were you like in the equivalent of like the Naughties Industry, the show? Have you seen Industry?
I haven't.
It's
It's like high-octane. It was a bit of Wolf of Wall Street about it. I was there from 2004 to 2008 when the financial crash hit.
Wow.
So the last 4 years, before a big drop, it's always the peak. And my God, those were the halcyon days. And I was a young man in the finance industry.
was it fun? Was it like rapacious? Was it
It was
all of the above?
It was all the above. It was salacious. It was fun, but it was scary as well because I was just a young man into this new world. And there are hookers coming to the office because we're doing overnight markets, or I'm going to a penthouse party in Chelsea and the guy's hired a Colombian woman off whom to do cocaine,
Off whom?
Oh, yeah.
Off whom? Yeah.
And
why do it in the loo stalls when you can
when
do
there's
it
a
off
woman.
someone's body?
Yeah.
So there was that level of debauchery, really.
Yeah.
And I was kind of a bystanding observer, to be honest, because I was just a bit like, I need to be in the room, but I don't necessarily need to participate. But it was very high-octane stuff and very interesting.
And this is what the good life is.
Apparently
This
so.
is the good life.
Hold on, is it still like this now?
Oh, you know
I don't think so. I think generally there's been a bit of a decline in that kind of debauched behaviour. I think there's lots of stats that say younger people are like doing drugs less, having sex less, doing all that stuff.
drinking.
Oh, less drinking.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, all of that stuff is happening less. But certainly when I was there, we were at the peak of it.
I had an image of the 80s as well when banking was terrifying.
Yeah, yeah.
When they're sort of kind of Harry Enfield pastiche on bankers.
Yeah.
But I asked you because my son is studying banking at university at the moment. I'm
Is
just
he?
kind of
Right.
hoping that this isn't the world
Well, it
he is
depends
going
because
into.
I ended up working in private banking, which was a little less debauched, as it were.
Okay.
Than when I was doing trading or whatever. But back then, I was in the sport, media, and entertainment space. So all my clients were celebrities, footballers, actors, actresses, and you try to build long-term relationships with these people, but you would end up in situations and rooms and buildings where you had to make a conscious choice between balancing your professionalism making the client happy so that they continue investing with you, but also somehow stay true to yourself and be a bit like, maybe I won't do that, but you have a great time.
But is in that journey of how this turned into comedy, are there things within that you have to see the humour in that tension?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think you mentioned like the idea of a banker, like boring or whatever. I will say I probably stood out because I was loud, I was obnoxious, and I was always trying to be funny.
Yeah.
But I felt so out of place with these people, how different I was from everyone else.
Why did you feel out of place?
I was the only Asian guy in a building of 400 staff. Although I went to a private school, I didn't go to those private schools. They already knew each other. You know, they had uncles who got them into the job or whatever.
Yeah.
And there was always this sense of like, you're here, but you've got like an under 23 pass to Soho House.
Yeah.
You know,
You've
you've not got a legacy pass to Soho House. The private school I went to, I got there on academic scholarships. I've always been a tiny bit of an outsider to all these spaces that I was in, and banking was no different. And so comedy, because I was the funny guy in the office, it lended itself to me eventually becoming a comedian, I think.
So what was that? I was thinking about, you're in this room, all these rooms you described where you're like, oh, I'm not going to go there. But then you get to go on the comedy stage and do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
to be honest,
no holds barred.
My debauched behaviour got worse when I became a comedian.
If you want to be more debauched, this is the career.
What was
for
the
you.
What was the stepping stone from trading floor or private baking into comedy?
So financial crisis happened. I then studied global governance and public policy at university because my dream was to become a diplomat, which is what I wanted to do from when I was younger.
I could see you being a good diplomat.
Really?
I really can.
Thank you.
What made you? I've never heard of a child wanting to
Honestly,
be a diplomat.
neither did they. And I made zero friends. At 6 years old, when the teacher, Miss Dorian, asked the class, what do you want to be when you grow up? Someone said plumber, someone said electrician. This idiot turns up with ambassador. And she was like, who the hell do you think you are?
Ambassador.
In this
That's different from diplomat.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah, they eat Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah, ever so slightly. So I thought, do you know what? Maybe this is a sign from God or the fates or whatever that actually my true calling in life is to become a diplomat or become an ambassador. During my master's, I was a bit like, I don't know if I want to do this. So I worked in government for a bit. I was a government policy advisor. And then I became a speech writer to the CEO of a bank.
Okay.
I did a comedy course to just learn how to write tighter.
Yeah.
Because I had a brainwave one evening where, comedians get the message across pretty quickly.
100%.
And that was it. I had no ambitions to become a comedian, didn't think it was a possibility. Did it as a course, enjoyed it. That was December 2013. That Christmas, I was telling people I did stand-up. My brother said, hold on a minute. You've done one gig.
You did one stand-up.
What are you talking? I said, all right, what do you want? He goes, you got to do like 10 gigs. I signed up to do 10 gigs just to shut my brother up.
Well, good reason.
And that was March 2014. And then in May 2014, my mum passes away very suddenly. And I cancelled all my gigs except 2, which were competition gigs that I honoured. And those gigs led to other gigs that led to other gigs that led to me eventually going, maybe this is what the gods or the fates wanted me to do. And that's how I ended up there. So it sounds really twee for me to say, but I feel like comedy kind of chose me as opposed to me actively wanting to do it.
And I'm just thinking about parents and the roles you choose, because being a banker, not for me, but for parents of a certain generation, is not just acceptable, it's bragging rights.
Yeah, of course.
Being a comedian, not so much. But you made that change, and I'm interested in how your family related to that. But losing your mum so soon into something new, how did that affect your commitment to what you were doing, or the feeling that you've just said, I've been chosen, this is what I should do? Do you think that played into it?
100%. I mean, there's a few things. The first is my first gig after my mum passed away, which was very unexpected, her passing. She died in the space of a week. From one Sunday pub lunch to the next Sunday, it was her funeral. It was completely unexpected. My first gig was 2 weeks after she died. I had nothing but 24-hour grief. And I said to my dad and brother, shall I go and do a gig? Like, I don't know. I don't know. And I was only 2 or 3 months in. That was one thing. The second was, I then made the final of this competition called Say You Think You're Funny, which is at the Edinburgh Fringe. And I remember my dad driving me up there with my brother and his best friend, Rob. And we were driving up. And I was just in pieces because I'm doing the Fringe. I turned 30. My mum's not there. You know, it was a whole clusterfuck of stuff happening. And it was Rob actually that said to me, this isn't the hardest gig of your life by any stretch of the imagination. I said, well, what do you mean? And he said, well, you and your brother literally had to bury your mum. And it was literal. My brother and I had to climb into the grave, which is something that I didn't know that we had to do.
Because of, why didn't you know that?
I just didn't know that was what happened. Now, even within Muslim burials, there's a bit of a difference of opinion.
Okay.
Right.
But on this particular one that my mum had, we took the coffin to the grave, and then the imam says to me and my brother, right, you boys need to go inside, and we lower her body into your arms and you lay her to rest.
Goodness me.
Now, as I say that, and people listening, they might think, that's really heavy. And yes, it is. But there is a real power as a son to know exactly where my mum's final resting place is. Like, I can tell you what the sand feels like under my feet. Only me and my brother have that experience. And in lowering her, you know, it's a very tight space. I don't know if anyone's been inside a grave. If you have,
I have, but not to receive a body.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's quite tight when there's two big lads, as me and my brother are, and a lifeless body, right? And my brother, we're trying to angle, and my brother kind of lowered my mum's legs. And at one point, because I was crying, grieving, trying to do this properly, there's 500 people there. My mum was kind of at a 45-degree angle at one point, like she was on a water slide, like that, right? And I kind of maneuvered around to be like, right, I need to try and get her down gracefully. But in the chaos of it, I lowered myself, but forgot to lower my mum. So I accidentally teabagged my mum's forehead.
Oh.
I knew this was going that way when you said she's on a water slide.
But these are the most awful moments are when this is where it happens, isn't it? In that space.
And then I dropped her, you know, and I was like, oh God, this is disgraceful. But all that is to say that those experiences then meant that I was able to do comedy with complete abandon, right? Because nothing's going to be harder than that, number one. Yeah. Number two, there is nothing a heckler can say to me that my mother already hasn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm untouchable.
Yeah.
And even if people don't laugh at my jokes, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. I can go and do it again. You know, there are much bigger things. So in some odd way, the intensity and the grief unlocked this freedom that otherwise I wouldn't have had, is the truth. Because growing up in a South Asian household, you become a banker. As you said, there's bragging rights, there's pride, there's all this. I think as human beings, the context of our existence around everything that satellites around us, we hold on to it very tightly. And actually, by me losing my mum, all those satellites disappeared. It didn't matter. These things that we hold so dear to us, our place in society and our money and this, that, it doesn't matter. Because I saw what happened. My mum had 54 years on this earth. She showered people with love. When she died, people grieved with us for 3 weeks, and then we all got on with our lives. And that's the truth. So it unlocked this thing for me in comedy where I'm like, I'm just going to have a good time while I'm here.
Was she funny, your mum?
Oh, my mum, yeah, I absolutely 100% get my sense of humour from my mum. And actually, a long-running thing, I've got a younger brother, he's 10 years younger than me. Growing up, I'd always play a game with my mum while she was cooking or whatever, and I'd say, Mum, who's better looking, me or Azan? Who's more intelligent, me or Azan? And every time she'd be Azan. And she's just mindlessly, you know, doing whatever, but she'd always answer Azan. No matter when it was amongst the list of questions, if I asked her, who made you laugh more? Or who's funnier? She'd always say me. And I think that because my mum and I had such a funny relationship with each other, I was always trying to make her laugh. She was always trying to make me laugh. In the more emotional moments I have, I think what I'm doing is just trying to make her laugh again at the end of the day, you know? So yeah, I think that's where it comes from. Because if I say something and I'm like, I think this would make mum laugh, I then do it as a joke. You know?
Do you still feel connected to her in any kind of metaphysical way, or do you feel like she's gone, or somewhere in between?
This really oscillates for me, you know? I saw my mum in a dream a couple of days ago. And what had happened is I'd recently discovered a Bengali song. My mum was Bangladeshi. I discovered a Bengali song that I really loved, and I've been singing it for a few days. And in this dream, I just told her about this song. And that same morning when I woke up, another friend of mine messaged me to say, I saw your mum in my dream last night, the same time that I did. And I was like, what would you mean? And she goes, oh yeah, she was grieving the loss of someone. And actually 3 weeks ago, at the time of recording the podcast, one of my mum's closest friends passed away from MND. So there was this weird moment of going, she's grieving someone in this unknown space. I try and visit my mum's grave because she's buried about, I'd say, 10, 15 minutes away from us. I would go every week for the best part of 2 or 3 years. And then there was a time where I was like, she's not there. Like, what am I doing? Who is this for? Is it for her? Is it for me? Then I kind of stopped. And then in my darkest moments, when I felt more and more sad, I'd go back and feel some sort of reprieve. And I think, death is one of those things. I think religion does an amazing job around death, the infrastructure around death, in terms of giving human beings a sense of something else. And my brother and I have often discussed, we don't know whether it's for the person who has passed away or whether it's to pacify us.
Yeah. My mom is... My mom's really, really clear, and she said this publicly, so she probably wouldn't mind me if she does. It's already out there. Sorry, Mom.
Suck it, Mum.
Suck it. Indeed. Thank you for... That's exactly the phrase I was looking for.
He has said that to her before.
She's like, I'm not having a funeral. She doesn't want a funeral. And her brother, who died recently, they decided not to have a funeral. My mom's not super religious. I am.
Right.
But I felt the absence of not being able to go through the motions of that with my uncle.
Yeah.
And so my mom's like, I don't want to be the center of attention. I was like, bullshit. You love being the center of attention.
Of course.
So what's going on here? Anyway, she hasn't uncovered what it is for her. But I said to her, well, you'll be dead. You will have no decision-making capacity at that point.
Yeah.
I said, we'll have one if I want one. No, you won't. I said, I'll be in charge.
Yeah, of course.
Said, I will do what I want with your body. So you better be nice to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in all seriousness, there is that, you talk about the infrastructure. There is something about, in very diverse traditions, that kind of rhythm and routine about how you treat the body or the person who gets to come into the house, where it happens, how quickly it happens. Yeah. And it serves both as like a meditation on death, but also as sort of a distraction from it, because you're going so quickly into stuff.
Absolutely, because even like with Islam, there is this 40-day mourning period, and according to Islamic traditions, they say that in those 40 days, the angels will come and they will prepare the soul for the day of judgment, and that is the time where you pray and all this. And whether or not I believed in it, and whether or not when people would say to me, oh, pray for your mum so she gets into heaven, and that used to annoy me when they'd say that to me, but like, well, what do you mean my mum won't go into heaven without me?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I was like, this is ridiculous. God knows, if God is real and he is predetermined and all this, he knows who he has taken from us. So I don't need to do any additional prayers. So there was a real bit of me being quite obstinate about that. But I did recognize that in those 40 days afterwards, a few things happened. For all the people that were mourning her, it gave real focus on centering my mum's life in their life for those 40 days, but gave me and my brother and my dad a deadline. Right. In the sense that the world keeps spinning, and this person will never disappear from your life and your soul and your heart and your mind. But in terms of the physical act of life, 40 days seems like a pretty reasonable amount of time to just press the reset button and go, I'll carry this with me, but life needs to move on.
Do you feel like what you're describing feels a bit like when I've given birth 3 times, not out of choice, I got pregnant, but I've given birth 3 times, and there's a moment where when you give birth, and you, especially the first one, but even the second ones, where you've got to decide who are you going to be now, because like it's traumatic. There's a lot. Every orifice is leaking. You've got a new human, but you have to decide
like
who. And when my brother died, it felt like the same thing. We had he was like really obstinate and only wanted a green funeral, which is actually quite a pain to organise in a place where. Yeah, it's like just be specific, right? It's a bit of a pain in the backside to have to sort out a wicker casket.
What does he mean a green funeral? What does that mean?
He doesn't want to hurt the environment, so he wants a wicker casket that's going to be biodegradable. He wants to be buried in a field a field.
Right.
Do you know how weird that is?
You're right.
He doesn't want any funeral people. So we get a tractor and we take him there on hay bales, and it's just a
like your
field.
experience.
Yeah.
Receiving
And
the
it's just
body.
us. There's no one. So we have to maneuver. There was a lot about it. There was amazing stuff about it. But anyway, after he died, I felt the same sort of, who are you going to be now? Because he annoys me as much when he's dead as he did when he was alive. He annoys me by being dead. I'm still annoyed. But it's like, so he's not going. He's not going. He's still with me. But I have to decide how are you going to move forward in this? And it feels the same as when you have a baby. Do you feel like it gave you? This is a very long way of asking a question, but what you're describing feels like it was in that 40 days. It's a deadline, and there are decisions to be made.
Yeah.
About who you are and what you do next.
Yeah.
Was that a driving force?
For sure. And look, complete disclosure, those 40 days, gave me a deadline to move on with my life, but I didn't. You know, I've grieved my mum for the best part of 12 years, you know. But it took me like 3 or 4 years to have the realization that just because I love my mum so much and miss her, I can't punish my dad. You know, I can't not see my dad and his existence or my brothers. Yeah. And actually my value to the people that I love and care about so dearly, if I am so consumed by grief and showing my mum somehow that I love her, then the people that are living, what life are they living? Do you know what I mean? So it's a very difficult thing. There's no right answer to this, but those are certainly some of the perspectives that I ended up getting. Since her passing.
I was on your Instagram the other day, and there was a bit that I thought was really funny. Ramadan started recently, and I think by the time this goes out, Ramadan might have just finished. But you had said something like, for all those Muslim ladies out there whose boyfriends won't be in touch this month because they're getting closer to God, you know, it's going to be okay. Yeah. And then as the camera goes off, he's call me. So good. I was laughing already, and then he's like, call me.
Yeah.
You're no longer a boyfriend who'd be getting close to God and
No.
Ramadan. You're
You're
available. You're available.
I'm completely
give me a
available.
ring.
Listen,
I'll
take you for lunch during Ramadan.
We're not talking about a date at 8:00. We're talking about lunch now.
You're benefiting hugely from
all these sad, lonely girlfriends.
You're offering a service.
Yes.
Well, actually, you say that, you know, but I once, in my wisdom, decided to join a Muslim dating app.
Okay.
And on this dating app,
what's it called? Because they're
this
hilarious.
Minder, genuinely called Minder.
Okay.
Minder.
Right. But based on Tinder, they called it Minder.
Okay, right.
And on it, you could disclose how religious you were or weren't.
Oh, like a score.
Yeah, kind of. There's like a sliding scale.
Like a Nando's hot.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, look, I'm right here. In fact, you might even go more negative if you could, but this is. I actually got messages from women on the app who would say things to me like, oh, look, you know, I'm supposed to be getting married to someone in the next how many months. You look like you've got no morals. Shall we?
Debauched.
Debauched behaviour.
You've got it written on your forehead.
Yeah, and I'm like, hold on, you're the one asking me.
You look like...
I'm not getting married to anyone.
But what kind of way is that? Just even a casual relationship. You look like you've got no morals.
Did I say yes? Yeah, of course I did.
Yes, I'll be there in 10. How close to Whitechapel are you? Hilarious. It's called Minder. It's there's all this like like religious, like there's a Christian mingle.
Yes, it's J Swipe.
Oh, yes.
J Date is in the States.
J
Swipe
is here
for the Jews. J Swipe.
There's Minder. There's Mismatch.
But hold on, are there any? You know, you've got the scat. So, are there any for like? Are they all for debauched Muslims, or are there any devout?
No, these are all devout apps.
Yeah.
But you can on the apps you can highlight how observant or how connected you are.
And lots of people go for...
No, I think most people on the apps, because they want to marry someone.
Oh, right. Okay, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, on the apps, they'll be like, oh, I pray 5 times a day. Like, I'm really religious. Whereas I'm one of the few where I'm like, listen.
Oh, you're just hoovering up the bottom.
Yeah, I'm plankton.
No suckerfish.
How did that transition happen? Were you ever like totally like 100% observant?
Yeah, I was.
So what's the shift?
I was very devout. And I was devout, but I was also very lucky because a lot of my education was at home, to be honest. Like, although I went to school, my mum especially was very strict about me learning Bengali, Urdu, Hindi and Punjabi, me having Arabic lessons, me doing extra math, all at home. So after school, I had a whole timetable that my mum oversaw. And so she gave me my religious grounding. It is the lottery of life that you were born a Muslim. I think Islam is the truth, as my mum would say. The lottery meant that you won because you're Muslim. However, if I was Christian or Jewish, I'd be saying the exact same thing. They're all people of the book. In Islam, every action starts with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. God is the most merciful, the most kind, the most forgiving. So my mum always instilled this in me, that God is kind, merciful and forgiving. What would happen, though, is I'd go to mosque and hear something completely different, where God was violent. He was angry. He would peel your nails off if you committed sin. 2 conversations spring to mind when I was about 7 or 8 years old. First one was the Imam said, oh, gay people are stoned to death. And I said, huh? What do you mean? Number one, what is a gay person? And he said, oh, well, a gay person is a man who likes another man. I mean, women weren't mentioned, right? Man who is in love with another man. Now, one of my mum's closest friends was a hairdresser called Chinu, who was in a relationship with another man in Bangladesh, having a really lovely time. And he really liked my dad. And he would always flirt with my dad. I always remembered. And when he said that to me, I burst into tears because I thought something would happen to my Chinu uncle. And he said, why are you crying? I said, oh, my Chinu uncle, you're saying he's going to be stoned to death. And the Imam slapped me. And I remember telling my mum, and my mum walked straight into the men's section of the mosque.
Wow. Go on, Mum.
Called him out and said, who the hell do you think you are? Stop teaching my son this backward nonsense.
Whoa.
She's badass.
So that was the first thing I saw, and I was like, oh, maybe imams don't know everything. That was the first chink in the armour, that these religious teachers may be a problem. Second incident, teacher asks us, what do you want to be when you grow up? This was before the ambassador thing. What do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, when I grow up, I want to be Sikh.
Of all the wrong answers you could give.
And mum goes, what? And I said, my best friend in school is Jaypreet. His dad is Sikh, and his dad wore a different coloured turban every day. Now, from when I was a kid, I've been obsessed with the turban. I think the turban is the most beautiful bit of headwear I've ever seen. So I was like, oh, I want to wear that because it looks powerful. And he said, well, if you don't die a Muslim, you go to hell. I burst into tears again. I cried a lot as a kid, to be honest.
Very compassionate child.
Yeah, burst into tears. He slaps me. I go outside. Assad says to me, did you say you want to be Sikh? I said, yeah. He beats me up. So then I was like, I don't like the Muslims I hang out with, because these aren't the Muslims that I hang out with.
Your mom, for example.
Yeah.
Like, who's like went in and told the Imam off.
Yeah.
Like, she's a different kind of
so
teacher.
my mum and her friends and the extended family, they were so kind and so beautifully spirited. And, you know, I've got an uncle who married an uncle who was a Brahmin Hindu who converted to Islam to marry my aunt. And that's a huge thing to do back in South Asia. And he is just the kindest, softest, most forgiving man. So I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense to me. What is going on? Someone's lying to me. Right? And then I would just see things of like these teaching assistants that would come in to work with the special education needs kids in our school. And I once asked them, what religion are you? And one of them said, oh, I'm Christian. And I was like, huh? But there's no way you can go to hell if you're being so kind. It was very binary as a child.
Sure, that's how child's brains work. Yeah, it really is.
So over time, as I really grappled with this, I made a separation by the age of 24 between God, or the idea of a God, the mind, the body, and the soul. Because in my head, I went, I don't think God cares what I'm putting in my body. All these edicts around alcohol and bacon and all this that a lot of Muslims hold dear. Sure, if I drink alcohol, I'm probably going to commit some sin. I get it. Not if I'm going to eat bacon. I'm not going to be more likely to punch a woman in the face when I'm eating bacon. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I made that separation. And then I was like, the classic things you do, you'd see what's going on in other parts of the world. You'll see death. You'll see destruction. And then you'll say, well, then that's man doing that. If God is kind and merciful and forgiving, he can't possibly want human beings to behave in this manner. So I separated that. That's a mind issue. That's men, human beings with their own mind. And the soul thing is a lot more recent. The soul thing is with my mum, in the sense that her passing, I believe her soul is in me. Like when you meet me, you meet my mum. And you meet my grandparents. It all passes on through us, and our souls exist separately from all of that. And that's almost more powerful to me than the idea of a God.
You say you're lapsed Muslim.
Yes.
What is that outside of like your thought world, what you think about God or humanity? What does that mean for your practice or not? Do you have any practices at all?
I have no practice at all.
No practice.
To the point where, there will be people from either the Muslim community or even the South Asian community who would openly describe me as a coconut. And a coconut, you'd be familiar with the idea of someone who's brown on the outside, white on the inside. And I find that quite an odd thing as well, this idea that just because I don't practice a faith, I'm somehow turning my back on my ethnicity and my ethnic background and my ancestry. There's a bronze level lapsed Muslim who doesn't drink, he doesn't eat bacon, doesn't do any kind of narcotics, but he might have fingered a woman.
That's bronze.
That's bronze. There's silver. He went to uni. He maybe had alcohol at some point, probably smoked a joint. He's maybe even touched a breast of a woman, right?
Okay.
But he doesn't eat bacon because that's a sin, right? There's a gold standard. This guy will drink and he'll do joints and he'll probably have sex, but he won't eat bacon. Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense.
So, yeah.
The show's called Spill the Spirituality.
Yeah.
Are you a spiritual person in any way?
I want to say yes, but when I hear the word spiritual, what I think about is on dating bios, the men and women that put spiritual on their thing because they done ayahuasca once.
Oh, right. That's a stereotype.
Do you know what I mean?
We've had some of them on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what again, it's the limits of language.
Yeah.
So, have you done ayahuasca?
I've done other stuff, but not ayahuasca.
Yeah.
But in terms of spirituality, yes, I would say I am, in the sense that my brother is a philosophy and RE teacher. As I've talked quite openly about my mother's passing, but also my journey through faith, I think about religion and God and spiritualism all the time. Not a day goes by where I wake up and don't say thank you into the ether. Genuinely true. There'll even be times, and this might be TMI, I'll have a really good poo. And I'll be like, thank you. Like, this is amazing. I cannot, I'm always, it's very weird. I think particularly in the last 6 or 7 years, I've had a very keen sense of how crazily lucky I am. Despite the trials and tribulations of my life and the things I see around me. But certainly in the context of those things, I cannot believe my bloody luck. Whatever that luck is, whether that's God preordaining, which I don't like the idea of, because why did God choose me? Gratefulness plays such a big part of every single day of my life, particularly the life that I've built now, having gone from a 9-to-5 corporate life to this man who I can wake up at 11 o'clock if I want to come and do this podcast and go wherever the fuck I want. To get to that level of freedom, that physical freedom in the Western world as a South Asian boy, son of immigrants, I cannot believe my fucking luck. And so there is something in me that puts that thanks out to the ether, whether that's God receiving it, whether it's the fates receiving it, whoever.
Just the oxygen in the room.
Yes. And even with the pain of losing my mum, even with kind of the small bout of homelessness I suffered, or the debts that I had to repay, or whatever it happened, it has all become such a rich part of this tapestry of my life. And I feel so grateful for that.
Does comedy feel like a spiritual enterprise?
Yeah.
How?
I feel most at ease and most myself when I'm on stage. And I think it's because I feel this sense of abandon where I want to say whatever the fuck I want.
It's your house.
It's my house. It's my microphone. You might not like it. That's fine by me. You might not laugh. You might hate me. You might do whatever. But no one human being is loved universally. And by the way, neither is God. Right? And so if God isn't loved universally, who the fuck am I to think that I should be loved universally?
Come on now. Preach, preacher.
Do you know what I mean?
Come on, Imam.
Preach, preacher. I would love to be an imam with like black church energy.
Come on. You've got it.
And the Qawwali on the side. that would be the dream.
You would have a huge
But it's
following.
true. That's a great sermon, though. It is a great. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
being funny, but not like.
No, it's true.
Who are we to think that everyone's going to love us?
Yeah.
Like even God.
Yeah.
Hashem,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
Allah.
Yeah.
Even God isn't
Yeah.
loved
Yeah.
by everybody.
Yeah.
Why do we think that's brilliant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is. So I think that comedy gives me that abandon where I can just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna say what I want.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be loved by everybody. It doesn't make a difference to me. The people that I want to love me and who have chosen to love me, love me. I am very lucky. There are, even if it's one person, I've got hundreds of people who've said they love me over the years, be it romantically, platonically, familiarly, whatever. I'm so lucky.
You're loved.
Yeah.
I'm loved. So, yeah, comedy gives me that real sense of like, this is fine. This is great.
We are going to play a silly game before we conclude. Jazz.
It's not silly. It's
It is silly, but
intelligent.
it's like, I think of it as sort of spiritual improv.
Well, you'll like this. Not a lot. So it's the circle of trust and doom and death.
Right, brilliant.
All of the above.
Yeah.
The circle of
The wheel of
trust.
suffering.
The
Yeah.
wheel of
Yeah.
So you give it a spin, it lands on a topic, and on that topic you can tell us a story, you can ask us a question, you
Right.
can spiritually improv on it,
Yeah.
or you can spin again. But that's where the whipping comes in. You only get 2 spins and then we whip you.
Right.
So give it some welly. And before you spin it, can I say we always ask our guests to spin it really hard, and all of them are rubbish and pathetic at it. So this is your chance as my
prove.
favourite guest ever on the show.
Oh, that's so sweet. I bet you said that every
I
time.
do. I say it to everyone.
Not every
So,
time.
to 80% of the
It's
time.
not going to fall on you.
I've
holding
got it.
It
I've
might
got it.
do, yeah,
I
just
know. I've
give
got
it
it.
a
I've got
good-
it.
yeah.
Give it some welly.
Oh,
that's a
that's
good
the best
spin.
one we've seen.
That is the
That
best
is literally the
spin
best
ever.
one
I used to
we've
play
seen.
cricket.
That's right.
That's what it is.
We need more cricketers.
That is.
Oh.
Chapter.
I thought I said Chipotle. I was
Chapter.
getting all excited.
Okay.
You want to go with chapter because you've got another spin if you want to.
Yeah, I'll go with chapter.
Okay, cool.
Chapter.
Chapter, tell us. Or ask us.
I think my reflection on chapter would be when my mum passed away, I considered that period of my life, those 22 years, a separate chapter of the book of my life. And I grew a beard after my mum, but my mum hated beards. She thought it was very unbecoming. She thought a man of my stature working in a bank shouldn't have a beard. It was unkempt. I grew a beard. I started comedy. I went on this journey of like trying to pay off all these financial debts that I had, like really actively trying my best. And for all the wonderful virtues of my mum, a large part of why I got into all those debts because my mum was a very expensive woman to maintain.
Oh.
You know, like I would pay her mobile phone bills. I came home one day, she had a £750 phone bill because she was calling her family in Bangladesh. Back then, we didn't have WhatsApp, Wi-Fi, she could have got a charge card, but she didn't. And I remember saying to her mum, that's £750. And she looked at me and went, I born you. And I went,
The answer to everything.
right, okay. And she goes, so the gift of life for 750 quid? I'm like, okay. So, you know, so
Massage those feet down there.
massage those feet, Mum, I love you. And so the chapter thing is very interesting to me because I feel like all of us, we forget, I think, sometimes, particularly when you're in the Western world and you're caught up in corporate life or whatever, we are all writing a book of our own lives. And the best books have chapters in them. And so some chapters are good, some chapters are bad, but they form part of the book of what makes our life beautiful, you know? For all its flaws and greatness and awfulness, we all have beautiful books. And sometimes the chapters might not be what they want to be. So those first 29 years is one chapter, and now I'm in this chapter, and I have no idea what the next chapter holds. But right now, I could not be happier that this chapter is kind of being written as it's being written. You know?
It really comes across
beautiful.
that you're happy to be in this chapter.
Yeah, I love
It's-
it.
Yeah.
You can tell. It
Good.
just like it soars from you.
So beautiful.
It
Thank
is.
you.
It's lovely to be a sentence and a paragraph in that chapter
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you so much
My pleasure.
for being here.
My pleasure. to
Who
be
is
here.
better looking, you or your brother?
Oh, you know, listen,
I
my
was
brother's...
thinking of Googling him later to see.
Well, just to save us the effort.
I think it is him.
Right,
He's
thanks
got a
for
really
that.
nice face and got beautiful eyelashes, and he's so kind, and he's losing a bit of weight now as well. So yeah, I think it's him.
Okay.
I'm funnier though.
But you're funnier.
Much funnier.
Eshaan, thank you so much for being here. Where can we see you for real or find out?
Best
way to do that?
I've got a special coming out on YouTube, which you can watch. I've got a regular podcast called The Early Evening Show. It's only 2 or 3 episodes in at the moment. And my latest episode of Live at the Apollo is on BBC iPlayer. So follow me on social media, Eshaan Akbar. All my stuff is there.
Lovely.
You're a very nice person. Very entertaining human. I don't like most of the people in this studio.
Present company excluded.
Present company included.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. But no, I honestly, what a delight to meet you.
Thank you so much.
You should put like Happy Lapsed Muslim. Maybe that will help.
Happy
somebody.
On your Mender.
Yeah.
Are you looking for a partner? Is that something you'd like?
Do you know what? We were talking about chapters. This 2026 chapter has been me going, I'm not going to actively look for anything.
Okay.
If it finds me.
That's when you'll find it, yeah.
It finds me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If it doesn't. Because the thing is, and this, I'm going to sound really arrogant now, I know I'm brilliant.
See, you
good.
had people flocking for you right up until
what it is like. Also, I'm 41 years old, so I'm kind of a bit done with like game playing, all this nonsense.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get. If you want to make this work, we'll make it work. If you don't, we won't. But I'm happy if nobody's there. It'd be quite nice if someone's interested. Give me a call.
Yeah. Call me.
Call me.
So if you would like to date
on his socials,
or get in touch with us because it's the show, join us on the socials. We are not going to handle all the requests for you.
You might get inundated. Sorry, I apologise.
That might be a way to get our socials
that
up.
may be what it is. We'll
Do
just
contact
put you
us
up.
if you want a
for
date
one
with
of these
Eshaan,
2 reasons.
and we'll match make.
Well, subscribe wherever you find us to be in to hear all the latest news, and review us. As we said before, if you like us, review us, and if you don't, keep it to yourself. This podcast is a project of the Methodist Church. It is produced expertly by Rachel Matthews and John Ryan. I'm Ampawfarr.
And I'm Trey Hall. Until next time, peace.